Hi there, I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
Fatigue of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woo! All right. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, not bad.
Welcome to March.
Yes, spring is coming.
Spring is coming in
It's
like a
nice.
lion, out like a lamb kind of thing.
Yes.
The good news is I don't see snow in the forecast.
Yeah, actually, start of the month, not bad.
No.
So, and the forecast is looking pretty good. Looks like we're not going to get our 6 weeks of more winter, but we did have 3.5, almost 4.
Yeah.
So, good compromise.
So this week it's not like it's going to be hot. I mean,
No, but it's going to be more spring. And the longer term forecast, I was looking at it earlier today. It looks like a few weeks out, we're talking definite spring weather. So, but there's always a chance living here in PA that we could get another late blast of winter. It likes to do that.
I can tell you exactly when it will come.
When?
It'll come on the day of the Latro BPW spring tea, like it always does.
Yeah,
it does. You have all these women who want to show up in these spring dresses and sandals and stuff like that, and it'll snow. Happens every year. Yeah. All I'm saying is that's when it'll happen. All right, so one of the shows that we like to watch is Ghosts.
Yes, very good show. Very funny.
Very funny. If you're not watching it,
you should. It's funny.
It is. It's hysterical. And last week, one of the ghosts, Hetty's husband, who is down in Hades, pops back up, and he needs one more soul.
Right, trying to recruit people.
Yeah, and offered everybody a deal. To that if they took his deal and went back with him, that they wouldn't have to be like the commoners who are there, and they could have a little bit more cushy existence for all of eternity.
Yeah.
Well, and none of them took it. However, one of the things that he pointed out, and he had pointed this out before, is what song plays in hell for all of eternity?
Tubthumping by Chumbawamba.
Correct. Now, I would like to know what played prior to that song, because in terms of eternity, that's relatively new.
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't know what they listened to prior to then. However, since the 1990s, that's what they've been listening to.
I would think prior to that, it would be Disco Duck. For
about 20 years or so.
If it wasn't Disco Duck, then maybe before that, this Sweet Caroline, which is a song I loathe.
And that was from the 60s.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
I know other people really like it. I can't stand it.
Go to any pit games, you will hear it. In between, football games, you'll hear it in between the third and fourth
quarter. It's
just
one of those things. I don't know what it would have been before that.
There's a line from Tubthumping that says, I get knocked down,
but I get up again,
and you're never going to keep me down.
Right.
And that right there is the essence of what people need to do to be successful. Yeah, you're going to get knocked down. You're not going to succeed every single time you try something. However, what do you need to do?
You got to keep moving forward.
Yes, you got to get back up.
Get back up.
And you need to keep moving forward. Don't let them keep you down. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how does this apply to leadership? Or how does this apply if you're a business owner?
Well, you're going to be knocked down. Things are going to happen. I think a lot of people thought and got knocked down by COVID when we were going through that whole fiasco. Yeah. A lot of small businesses, because amazingly enough, small businesses apparently
could get COVID.
Yeah, COVID thrived in a small business, but it didn't exist inside the doors of Walmart.
No.
I still can't figure that one out, but there it is. And so there were a lot of small business owners that they had to shut down
Mhm.
basically for the duration, and many of them didn't open back up.
No.
The ones who did, they were the ones who they got knocked down, and believe me, a lot of people, they got knocked down hard,
Yeah.
and they got up again, and they kept moving forward. And there's lots of examples out there of
Yeah.
small businesses that you were dealing with before COVID, and now you still go to their locations.
And if you look at the numbers, there are more small businesses out there than there are large businesses.
Yes.
And every day you have new small businesses that are opening up, because every day you have entrepreneurs that are starting up a new business. However, like you said, during COVID, it was difficult.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
It was difficult for everybody.
Yeah.
And winners and losers were, I think, legislated.
They were picked.
Yeah. And so being one of those small business owners, being a leader, even of a larger company, it was hard.
It is.
I know some of the companies that we did training for during, COVID time period, they were struggling.
They were.
And they knew they needed to keep moving forward. They just weren't sure how.
Right.
And that's part of the problem.
And big part of that was because of all the uncertainty, because the rules kept changing. That was the other part about it. Yeah. But you've also got to understand in life, that's the way it is. I mean, we're in a position right now where the rules are changing. Yep. Now, I think a lot of the rules are changing in a way that's going to be favorable to businesses, but they're still changing, which means that you have to be ready to adapt to them. And some of them may not be necessarily favorable, but you have to be ready to adapt to them. And part of that means that sometimes you're going to get hit with a rule, you're going to get hit with something, you get hit with a disaster, who knows what. And it's going to knock you for a loop. But the only way that you can succeed is you've got to get up and keep going. You got to keep moving. So when you talk about tub thumping, make me think of the movie Rocky Balboa. When I know you don't like Rocky. She doesn't like Rocky. She's from Philadelphia, doesn't like Rocky. Go figure. But he has a line in there, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't think I have it precise, but he says this thing about life is not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you get how hard you get hit, and then keep moving forward. Because that's what's going to happen. Life is going to hit you, and it's going to knock you down. And you just got to figure out a way to pull yourself up and keep on going.
Yeah. If you get, it's just like when you're learning to ride a horse or you're learning to ride a bike, you're going to fall. And if you fall 5 times, you get up 6 times. Yes. And so it's just a matter of figuring out, learning from the experience, figuring out what are you going to do differently next time.
Right.
And then being prepared for it to happen again. Because it will.
It will.
Success is not easy. If it was,
everybody would do it.
So much truth. And if you're going to be successful, you have to be prepared for the learning curve.
Yep.
You have to be prepared for, falling down and getting up. Now, John Maxwell will tell you need to fail forward, or basically fall forward.
Yeah.
So that you will learn from what caused you to fall. And then you don't do it again.
Yeah, don't do that again.
He'll also tell you that the best way to learn from mistakes is to learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes.
So that way you don't do it yourself. However, you're still gonna do it.
Yeah. Experience is a great teacher. Other people's experiences is an even better teacher.
Yes, it is. And so learning what to do when you fall, and knowing that you have to get back up and you need to keep moving forward. It's not easy. And if it was easy, once again, everyone would do it. So part of what differentiates people who are successful from those who are not successful are the people who keep getting up and keep moving forward. There are some businesses out there that part of the business model they have for their employees is a sink or swim philosophy.
Yes, they do.
Where they literally just throw them in and they look to see
Yep.
who's
Throw you in the deep end and see who's going to swim.
Yeah.
See who's going to have the tenacity, the will, the determination to figure it out and be able to move forward
Yep.
and succeed. And then letting the ones who can't go.
Yeah.
Now, my view, that's an expensive way to do things because hiring people is not cheap.
No, that part of the reason why I started this business to begin with was because that's what I would see over and over
Yeah.
again. Is I would see people get hired, then were just thrown into a job and not given any training on how to be a successful leader. And I would talk to HR and say, there's a better way. If you give them some training,
Right.
It'll prevent you from having to rehire for this position over and over and over again.
Yep. Because you throw them in there and 6 months, 9 months, 12 months later,
They're
they're
gone.
gone.
Yeah. And that's expensive.
It is expensive.
And it's not just the cost for that particular job, but it's also the team that person's leading,
Mhm.
because they can't be successful when they don't have somebody who is consistently in that leadership role.
Plus, it's also confusing for your customers.
Yes.
If these are people who interface with them when you keep having new people coming in all the time. So I remember when I worked for a copier sales company, that was one of the issues that they had, is they had a difficult time keeping people.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't the only ones. There were others that also had a difficult time. But when I would go in and talk to business owners, they would say, yes, you're like the fifth person from that company who's, been servicing our account, or, it's like your competition. They've gone through, they're on the seventh or eighth person. And, you could develop an advantage by simply
sticking around.
After they had a chance to get to know you, they've seen you enough and they become comfortable with you. That's when they're going to do business. Yeah. Whereas in a lot of cases, especially if it's a company where, it seems like every month they got a brand new salesperson servicing, that services that area.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that person. And so they're not going to want to do business with them.
No, people do business with other people that they know, like, and trust.
Right.
And if you don't stick around long enough,
They're not going to get to
know
know
like, and
you or
trust
like you or trust you. Yeah.
So that's part of it. And like I said, when it comes to the business itself, it's expensive. It's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of money to fill these positions.
Mhm.
And you're also losing out on money when positions go unfilled,
Right.
or when you have constant turnover.
Plus, you're doing a horrible thing to these people.
Yeah, you are.
When you are hiring them with the mentality, the attitude, if they make it, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. That's a horrible, horrible mentality to have. You should walk into every single relationship with the mentality of, this is going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
This person is going to work out. And then try to give them the tools, the resources, the training, work with them as much as you can to make sure that they can be successful. Now, if after you've done all of that, they're still not successful, then you may have hired the wrong person. Yeah. And sometimes you have to let them go.
Yeah.
I've seen that many, many times as well. But when you've got somebody who is good, especially what makes it tough is when they leave your employ and they go to work for one of your competitors, and they're successful there.
Yeah.
And which means that they're taking business away from you. They're taking business away from you in that business that they could have provided for you if they would have stayed. And now they're competing against you and they're taking away business from your new salesperson.
Yes. So learn from those mistakes. Learn to keep moving forward. And if you need help with that, if you are one of those brand new leaders and you feel like you're struggling and you don't know which way to turn, if you are a brand new entrepreneur and you just started in business and you feel like you're in over your head, if you're somebody who is looking to get promoted into a leadership role and you're thinking, oh man, where do I even start when it comes to learning how to be a leader? Who could they contact?
Us.
Yes, because that's what we do.
That's exactly what we do.
We help you develop those leadership skills. We help companies actually come up with succession plans
Mhm.
where they can start developing their leaders early on and figure out who's going to be the next leader and who maybe needs a bit more time and development. We work with small businesses, we work with large businesses, and we can help in those areas. So if they wanted to reach out to us, how could they do that?
Well, you can call us. Phone number 412-420-7975.
Yep.
You can text us at that same number.
Mhm.
You can send us an email, info@ateagueofyourown.com.
Mhm.
You can go to our website, ateagueofyourown.com. And we are on social media.
Mhm.
We're on Facebook.
Yep.
We're on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. And we have a YouTube channel. And you can find all of these Motivational Mondays on there. So if there's a specific topic that you're wanting to hear a little bit about, go there and browse through. It's totally free. Only thing that we ask is that if you go onto any of our websites, and especially YouTube, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
That helps us out. We appreciate that.
So next time you hear Chumbawamba, think about those lyrics. I get knocked down, but I get up again, and you're never going to leave me down.
Never going to keep me down.
You're not going to keep me down there. So get up, move forward, and that's the key to being successful. All right. Have a great first week of March, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.